Hey everybody, it's Chrissy Key Rollins here, and I am so excited to bring you this week's energy update. I'm going to do my best to keep it concise, but there's a lot that's on my heart to share because we are now, as I mentioned last week, we have moved out of Virgo season, which was all about structuring, clarifying, ditching the clutter, getting into integrity, being honest, speaking your truth, feeling agitated by other people's lack of indiscretions. Hey, Angela, I was just thinking about you. I'm going to text you something, so just keep a heads up that it's coming to you because you just keep crossing my mind and crossing my mind. Okay, so now we have shifted into Libra season, and most of us are most familiar with Libra because we see the scales, the balance of scales, if you've been into astrology or peeked into this stuff at all on your own. So what those scales is all about, Libra is all about balance. It's the perfect thing to follow the crazy tumultuous summer where everybody's just kind of letting loose and there's no structure, and then all this structure comes in and all this clearing out happens, and then here comes the balancing act of Libra. So Libra is all about finding your balance, getting connected to yourself, bringing forth and recognizing the beauty that's in the world. The Libras are really drawn to beauty, really drawn to art, creative expression. We love beauty. And I say I have Libra rising, so I have a lot of Libra self-identity that happens within me that I can really relate to. So here's what I know to be true about Libras. Libra is, again, all about balance. Hey, whoever else just joined live, just comment in. I see that there's some comments, but I'm not quite sure exactly how to grab them. There they are. Hey, Erica, glad you're here too, Shug. Okay, so Libras are all about balance. Balance is a great thing. But the thing about finding balance is that the areas that are out of balance are going to be heightened. And this is probably already heightened because we just got out of Virgo season. So you're probably feeling one of two things. You're either feeling your stuff come up and you're like, oh, look at that. Let me clear that. Let me move that out of the way. Let me keep right on moving forward. Or your stuff is coming up and you're blaming the circumstances and the people around you. And you're looking for them to find their balance so that you can maintain yours. Now, if you're of the latter, then I've got something I'm going to tell you about towards the end of this that I think that you should plug in. I'm getting ready to launch well, actually, I just launched. I'm getting ready to start a 4-week course that's an empathic healers course. And it is all about understanding how you get tangled up in other people's energy, how their energy affects you, how you can clear and balance yourself, how you can read the energy of others so that you can stop falling into their traps and falling into these pitfall cycles that can happen whenever you're not aware of this energetic entanglement that can happen. So Libras are especially affected by this because, again, if you're caught up in blaming outside circumstances or people because of your current situation, then as that balancing comes into place, you are going to find yourself blaming and pointing outward, and most likely setting forth the setup to go through the same cycle again if that reaction to your situation is not the thing that brings you into balance. Okay, so the interesting thing about balance is that when you have it, it feels great. When you don't have it, everything gets out of whack. So when you are finding yourself finding your balance, or you're finding yourself thrown off track, just know it's really heightened this particular time of year. So you're going to feel the imbalance more. And when you see, oh, I'm so glad this came to my mind, that balance, a great way, this really, again, piggybacks off of Virgo season, because Virgos are all about, doing the right thing, following a high level of integrity, following the law and order. Sorry, I'm just really warm at my house today. We got breaking heat down here in the south today and tomorrow. Hey, whoever else just joined live, welcome. Okay, so since Libra is all about balance, then what ends up happening is that this also lines up with justice, things that are fair, things that are right. So during Libra season, you're going to be much more susceptible to being thrown off balance when you witness or you experience directly any kind of injustice done. So if you find yourself just being overly exacerbated with the events that are happening outwardly, like in the political society or, out there where all those people are, or if you're thrown off by the events that are just happening within your home, just understand injustices are going to be heightened. This means you are going to be more likely to react or overreact to an injustice. You're going to be more likely to get yourself tangled up and caught up in it. And those around you are going to be the same way. So if you find people kind of overreacting, or you feel as if they're overreacting, instead of taking it personal and getting all caught up, start to look at where there might be viewed an imbalance, because their problem is probably not you as much as the injustice of the situation. So it's easy to take those things really, really personal. And it's easy to get caught up in them. And it's easy for us to go through these motions and not realize that that's what the driving force is inside of us. We just have these outer influences right now, this time of year, makes us more susceptible to these kind of things. The other thing about Libra that always crosses my mind, along with that being attracted to beauty and bringing the balance and the justice and getting really thrown off by imbalances and injustice in the world, the other thing comes to mind is Libras are notorious people pleasers, in the sense that they have this amazing ability to see what is good about somebody and pull that to the surface and allow all those other red flags to kind of fall away. Like, they bring up the excuses, well, as soon as something negative is said about somebody, or as soon as something negative is experienced about somebody, even if you're the one who's directly experiencing it, you'll find yourself backing it with, but they have all these other good traits, but they get everything else right. But it's this thing of like letting people off the hook. And we let people off the hook, Libra style, because we really want them to like us and to acknowledge us. People pleasing and acceptance from others is really, really strong in Libra energy. Libras do much better when they're in a relationship. They feel very lost. They're air. So this is an air sign. So this is about kind of floating off. We're talking about things that will help to ground you. We got to balance out that floating off. Hey, Rachel, so glad that you're here, babe. And hey, I see somebody else just joined live too. So as that air, that light energy starts to pick up, and as you find yourself kind of moving into and past red flags and into this people pleasing and looking to get other people to like you and to accept you, just understand this is what kind of drives that force. I had this really strong in my life until like I realized what the driving force was around it. And then I realized, oh, this isn't for me to try to get other people to like me or want to be my friend. This is for me to know who I am, for me to decide what qualities I want to entertain in the people that I bring into my inner circle. And it was just a very good clarifying point. So just know this time of year, susceptible to needing balance and being thrown out of balance, being susceptible for feeling really harsh about injustices, like really thrown through the ringer about it. And then that kind of people pleasing, wanting to accept people, wanting to get people to like you because of that connection to relationship. And as humans, we are so self-identified by our relationships to other people, our relationships to other things, circumstances, events. What is happening out here is how we have gotten to identify ourselves here. So whenever these things get shook up, if that's the only way that you know how to self-identify, if you don't have your own autonomy, really clear sense grounding of who you are, independent from anything else that's happening around you, then just know you're going to be a little bit more tangled up this season. You're going to feel yourself kind of pulling towards and wanting to loosen up some of your boundaries just to let people in and get that love and acceptance. But it's really an opportunity for you to get clear on who you are and what qualities you want to have in the relationships around you. Y'all got to let me know if this is hitting the mark. Hey, Mural, so great to see you on here. Any Libras watching this? I need my Libras to chime in and let me know your thoughts. Libras also really like characters. This starts to get really prevalent towards the end of October, actually, when we move into Scorpio and get into Halloween. But Libras really do like becoming characters. They like to embody and represent an idea or a character. So they're quick to kind of change forms or identities and really embody a different kind of stylize. I have a beautiful, amazing Libra friend, and she, although she was raised in Buffalo, New York, she has followed a very devout guru path, and she is very much into ceremonies and Indian traditions, and she likes to dress in full sari. It's very much her identity and who she she is. And when I learned this about Libra, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense, how easily she can, or how it's very natural for her to step into being a character that she can self-identify with herself as. It's very true to who she is. It's very authentic. It's a very real thing. So it's different than like faking it. Like we can think of like, oh, I'm going to dress and pretend like I'm something I'm not. That's not the Libra style. Libra just can express itself in this kind of theatrical way that's very beautiful. And again, it just like accentuates the beauty of situations and people and relationships, which that's what always comes to mind whenever I think about Libra. Okay. Oh, Rachel says her husband is a Libra. Hey, Jackie, I know you could probably add to this conversation too. Erica says, I think one of my sisters is Libra, 1010. Yep, that would definitely be on the Libra spectrum of things, because it's around the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd that most zodiacs kind of shift over to the next one. So what else? Oh, and it's new moon. We just had a new moon a few days back, and what the new moon energy is all about is creation. So for women, you may find that this is the time that you're ovulating if you are of menstruation age and still childbearing years, and regardless if you are or not, you may also find that you feel this upswing in energy to create, to birth something new. I know I had this beautiful clarity that came across me about a weekend or so ago that led me to just revamp everything that's on my website and really get clear about the work that I feel most passionate about doing and how I can best support those that I feel called to support in the work that I do in the world. So if you have that same kind of inspiration, that clarity, that desire to like create something, to make something, this is what new moon energy is all about. And it can kind of like stifle you if you're stuck in a place of not really being connected with yourself or not having that clear path. That creative force energy can actually heighten your awareness that you're not creating. So if you're experiencing that, just understand there's reasons why you're feeling this heightened way. And it's not that you're doing anything wrong per se. It's just that this is what you're more sensitive to. You're more attuned to. Your body is like programmed to be in alignment with the energy that moves you forward. And if your egoic self, if your personality, if the way that you self-identify is in a way of stuckness, then you're going to feel that pushing forward be resistant to where it is that you feel like you are and what you feel like is happening. So if anybody wants any of this unpacked more, I just put up some amazing new offerings that allow me to take a little snapshot of either your birth chart or perhaps your child's chart or your spouse's, your partner's chart, to help to give some insights to better balance the way that you relate to yourself and the way that you relate to others and the world around you. So it's just a quick little overview. I'll get you a full complete report along with a recorded overview of the highlights. So you don't have to wade your way through the whole report. You can just pull out the juicy nuggets and then have more resources to dive in deeper on your own. So if that's something that's of interest to you, definitely reach out. It's something I'd be happy to do for you. Or even if you want to set up a one-on-one session, I'll go through the overview with you in person and I'll give you a chance to ask more questions and dig a little bit deeper. So let me know if that's something I can support you with, and absolutely hop over to the Conscious Success community. I'm going to be putting down a 3-card spread from my beautiful mermaid oracle deck here after I conclude this. So hop over there and check that out for more deep insights. I'll drop a link to the empath course in the comments below so y'all can take advantage of those savings. I'm going to keep it up through midnight tomorrow, which is October the 3rd. So you'll see all that on the site. And yeah, let me see what these mermaids have to say in extension to what I just brought through. Okay, so I know why this card came through. And I'm pretty excited that it came through when I got a chance to talk. But let me just tell you, this isn't going to be a quick one. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with this. So this card is card number 33, which happens to be one of my favorite numbers for any of you number buffs out there. Experiments. This card came through in our reading last week if you were over in the Conscious Success community. Experiments. The card itself, the message on the card itself says, manipulation of nature, forcing change, cruelty in pursuit of knowledge, arrogance. Now, what I'm going to do for time's sake is that I'm going to actually drop a link to a video that I gave you my personal insights to this card a while back whenever it first came up in my group. It's one of the more ominous, kind of dark, shadowy kind of cards that are in my deck. So anytime that shows up, I just like to unpack it a little bit more so that you have a little bit more understanding. totally out of focus here. But you have a little bit more understanding and clarity on how to relate it back to you. So I'm going to do a link post to that so you can watch that. So check that out if you want more insights on this card. But how I think it pertains to today's topic and conversation in today's day and age of Libra season and what's happening with the society around us is that there is a lot of manipulation and force that has happened to us as a species, as humans, within races, cultures, subcultures, genders, all of that. There's been a lot of dividing. There's been a lot of manipulation. There's been a lot of programming. There's been a lot of unauthorized, non-permission granted experiments that happen between society and ourselves that maybe we're aware of, maybe we're not aware of, maybe that's what we're waking up into right now. But this goes on. So this is just saying that, I believe it's coming forth to say, this has been happening. So understand that that is what is going on. It's nothing to get caught up in. It's nothing to get, oh, so fearful about. It's something to just understand. When these experiments are happening, when these forces of nature, when there's manipulation, when there's control that's happening, be it society to us as individuals or collectively as a society, or within our own personal relationships, when this is happening, when there's manipulation, when there's force, when there's control, that is an outdated model. It's an old way of being that is dying off. And to die off, everything has to kind of exacerbate and come to a head. That's why things have gotten a little crazy out there. I don't know if y'all have noticed it's gotten a little crazy. It's gotten a little crazy. But because it has to exacerbate as it dies off, all of this stuff is falling away. It's falling away. The way that we clear it out is that we have to bring awareness to it first. The way that we bring awareness to it is that it all has to bubble to surface. So as it's bubbling to surface within our society and within our own individual selves, just know it is a result of past experience, not a sign of what's to come. I just posted this the other day. You're watching the past while you're creating the future. So you're experiencing what happened yesterday while you're creating tomorrow. Got that? So whenever you just look around and you see what's happening, and don't panic, it's just showing you what was happening, and you're in a position to change what's going to happen next. So this, I feel like, is coming forth to say that there's a lot of manipulation, force, control, old ways that are dying off. So just know that this is coming to a height. We are in Libra season. It is coming to a balance, and it is a clarifier to better define who you are individually, independent of the relationships that you have around you, or the way that you self-identify within these relationships or experiences that are being manipulative and controlling. Okay, I hope that that's helpful. Join me over at Conscious Success Community. I got a link here for you. You can just go to bit.ly Conscious Success Now if you want a quick link for it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel while you're here so you can catch this every single week. And if you're not watching on YouTube, go check it out. Chrissy Key Rollins on YouTube, and subscribe, share it. If this was helpful to you, share it with someone else, and definitely drop some thoughts in the comments below. Erica says we were born about a month apart. Oh yeah, Erica, I'll totally do your chart. I would love to do your chart. Definitely send it to me. And this is Chrissy's way of doing chart. Just full disclaimer, I'm not a 40-year studied astrologer. I have just done an in-depth personal study over the past handful of years. It has impacted my life so greatly. I interweave it into all of my work with all of my clients all the time. So I thought, since I'm doing this all the time and people are interested in it, and I look at this and I understand it, let me be that kind of bridgeway to open the door to a deeper understanding. And then if you want to dive deep, 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 find a great astrologer to do that with. But if you're just interested in kind of dipping your toes in it, getting a better understanding, hit me up, okay? Angela says, I love this, yay! And I'm totally reaching out, Angela. And Erica says, I'm literally laughing out loud. Good, good, good. I love that. Laughter is a sign that we have reset, that we've gotten back connected with truth. So I love that, that we've come full circle. Thanks for watching. Of course, every time that I say I'm going to make it quick, I make it extra long. And sorry about that, but not sorry. I hope it was helpful. Drop me some comments, give me some feedback, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.